Hey everybody, it's your boy Big L PhD, Big L PhD. I'm on a long ride. I've got multiple videos, making these videos as we go along and talk, so we can all kind of. It's gonna help me on this ride here to where I got to get to. So let me ask a question here, right? So I follow a space called the Manosphere. I follow a space called the Manosphere, and I do content for Captain Hunter's podcast, which I would consider Manosphere content. I know that's kind of it doesn't have a good reputation, but I don't think I'm saying anything that's really controversial. But I'm trying to make men the best version of themselves on that channel, and on this channel, I'm talking about my PhD journey. Gotta get over, brother. Can you let me over? Thanks. So I'm talking about my PhD journey. I gotta get over again because I cannot stand sitting behind a big truck. So I'm talking about my PhD journey. And I want to ask a question about this question. And the reason I mentioned this manosphere type of thing is because there's this idea of men being intimidated by a strong woman who's got her own stuff going on, education, career, moving up socially, et cetera, et cetera. And this is more of a question. I think I know the answer, but I'm asking more of a question. I really like to spark a debate here. Do you think now? Here's why I'm bringing this up. So I have a friend. I do a podcast, as I mentioned, Captain Hunter's podcast, and I wanted to talk about education. Yeah, because I think that I think that law enforcement and education really go hand in hand more than what's talked about. Children, there's a whole process of the school to prison pipeline, and children grow up, and if they're bad in school, then they're going to be bad in society, and they're going to get arrested, and they're going to come in contact with the law enforcement system. So we need to in order to fix or reduce criminal justice financial burden on society, we need to fix our education system. They go hand in hand. So I talked to a number of teachers, and one teacher I had on was Dr. I think I can say her name. She was on the podcast, Dr. Kelly Hope. She's a school teacher here, and she teaches at colleges and stuff like that. So she teaches in a school system in Connecticut. She teaches a school system in Connecticut, and she is an adjunct professor at a couple of different colleges. So I have her on the show to talk about state of, in particular, black education. And so, and at the time I did not know that there was a difference. I didn't know there was a difference between a DBA, PhD. Just don't know. I mean, EDD. I thought a PhD was everything. I thought a doctorate was a PhD. I thought it was period. I didn't know that you can have a doctor of divinity, a doctor of psychology, and those are very different doctorates. There's even a practical doctor or something like that. Because I was looking into getting a second doctorate. Don't ask me why. Right? I'm just bored. So I was looking into that. So anyway, so I have her on, and I'm like, oh, you got your PhD. And I can't remember exactly how the conversation was. She's like, oh, no, I have an EDD. And in my mind, I'm like, what the heck is an EDD? I don't even know what that is. I might have asked her. I don't remember. It's been a long time since we had the conversation, and I haven't watched the video in a while. So I'm like, what the heck is an EDD? So, I start exploring, all these different levels of doctors. I think if you look it up, I think there's like 13. I don't remember. I don't want to misspeak, but there's a number of them. Doctor of Divinity, Doctor of Psychology, Doctor of Social Work, there's other professional doctorates, right? Juris Doctorate and Medical Doctor. And there's Doctor, I was looking at this other school. It's like a Doctor Military Strategy or something like that. It's not considered a PhD, even though you got to do a dissertation. So I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what the difference is. I'm rambling here. So I want to ask a question to spark a dialogue about whether your degree as a woman. Now let me get back to Dr. Hope. So she is a well-educated woman, obviously, career-driven, oriented, and all that. Now, she is, during the conversation, she said that, the reason I want people, I got this EDD, and I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I watched it. But she essentially said that, in case I ever get married, she wants people to call her, or she will always be a doctor. Regardless of her marital status, she will always be that. So my question is, in particular for Black women, but for all women in particular, I guess all women in particular, all women generally, but in particular for Black women, is it a hindrance? Is it a hindrance? Is your education, academic achievement, master's degree, doctorate degree, a hindrance to getting married? I know that there is a rhetoric out there that men are intimidated by it. I'm asking, do you really believe that they are intimidated? I'm asking a number of different questions. Number one, is it a hindrance? Period. Yes or no? That's a yes or no question. Do you think that men are intimidated by it? And I'm talking about men that you find that you would date. I'm not talking about Pookie who works at a car wash, right? That's a different conversation about whether you would be with that person. So is it intimidating along those lines? Man, look at this traffic, man. So is it intimidating along those lines? You walk into your job. Do the men who are on your academic financial level, look at you differently? Are they interested in you? Do you think it's because of your degree? I'm asking. I really want to know this. If you're watching this, send it to some people. And any woman can really ask this, right? Have you run into dating difficulties because of your degree? Because of your degree, not because you're a difficult person. And I would ask, again, I'm sparking a debate here. Does it make you less attractive? Are you more argumentative? Do you think that you're right? Does your degree make you less personable? Does it make you less cooperative? Less, does it change your personality where maybe someone would find you to be less cooperative to be around? And I guess the same thing could be asked of men as well, but I'm asking this specifically of ladies. I want to know because again, my friend talked about this whole, I'll always be a doctor, nobody can take this away from me. And she was a very nice woman, very, very. I'm not saying this about her at all. So no, she's not fit the bill about what I'm talking about. I actually think she's attractive, and I think that based on her personality, from what I know, I don't know her very well, but from what I know, I think she'd probably make a very good spouse. But do you think that men find that intimidating to not want to deal with that? So just a question that I wanted to ask, spark a conversation, spark a debate as to whether this can, what that looks like. Because here's one thing that I do find from the manosphere is many men, well, let me put it like this. Manosphere has put forth some talking points that, the divorce rate in America or in the West is extremely high, and the higher the academic and economic achievement by the woman, then the greater the chance of divorce. So do you think that maybe men are looking at that and saying, you're not worth it. You're not worth it. You're right. I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to be entertained by that. Maybe it makes you less, maybe the degree and economic success makes you less personable, less cooperative, and really causes people, and women in particular, to present in a way that is not what men are looking for. Generally, here's another manosphere talking point. that if a man goes out to school to work, he goes to school to get his education, he goes to a certificate program, traditional education, gets learns to drive trucks, becomes a carpenter, whatever he does in order to feed himself, he then becomes more marketable, more palatable, more likely to be favorable to be marriage minded. He does what he does, and the money he makes is now going to be geared towards building a house, so he can have a woman to come in and essentially nest in it. Essentially, does that same dynamic work for women? Again, this is the question I'm asking. I'm asking for the ladies out there to chime in, and let's have the discussion about whether this makes you more marketable, more cooperative, more likely to be a better spouse. Because I think that men make better, when men have jobs, when men are productive, they make better spouses. Right? Who wants to come home to a man who's sitting on the couch playing video games all day, not taking care of his responsibilities? Having a job, having an education makes a man more marketable. Does that work the same way for women? I know the answer to that, but I want to have a conversation about it. Right? So I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think it makes you more marketable? And let's just say the answer is no. Then what should and could be done about that? So let's have the debate. Let's have the discussion. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions, and let's get the conversation going in the comments. And let's get the conversation going in the comments. Much love and peace, everyone.